Vitamin D, one of the very important vitamin as well as a hormone. But do you know nearly 37 to 99% of the people who are admitted in the hospitals were found to have vitamin D deficiency? Why is that so? Why in our country vitamin D deficiency is becoming so common and rampantly rising? Let's try to find out all the reasons behind that. Namaste. My name is Dr. Tanvi Mayur Patel. I'm from Mumbai, India. Vitamin D, which is a hormone as well as a vitamin, involved in many reactions of our body, very important for the bone, teeth, calcium metabolism, and also for our immune system. However, deficiencies of the vitamin D has becoming a very concern to our population. In fact, vitamin D deficiency is linked with the plenty many health conditions. And it is this vitamin D which is free of cost available by Mother Nature to all of us. Yet, we are not able to utilize that correctively. Why is that so? Many reasons. I'll tell one by one in detail. The very first reason is the limited sun exposure. Yes, we are not getting enough sunlight exposure. That is the number one cause of it. Lot of times, if you introspect your own personal lifestyle, you will be able to resonate with me. Whether we talk about the rural India, where either the work is distributed as per gender, women are most of the time housebound, doing a household chores and have a limited time or chance to go out. Okay. If we talk about the urban population, people living in the cities, where the men, if they are working, it's mostly office work, sitting job, inside the air condition. And if we talk about the women, if at all they are working, again they are having a similar environment. And if they are housewife, they are limited their lifestyle within the house. Not only adults, even the kids. Nowadays, even kids don't go out and play outside. For them, the playtime is most of the time limited to the screen or maybe playing a mobile game or a video games. So even the kids are equally exposed to such a low sunlight, and that's why even the kids have vitamin D deficiencies. Okay. Now, if at all people opt to go out, then what? They apply a lot of sunscreen because they get scared that the sunlight exposure will make us more darker in complexion. And we all are kind of obsessed with the fairer skin, and in order to achieve that, we are putting a thick layer of the sunscreen which blocks all those UV rays. Isn't it? Not only that, when people are opting out to go out, okay, either they are traveling in the car, again an air conditioned environment where does not have enough sunlight exposure. And when you talk about the clothing, even the clothes are fully covered, especially the traditional way of clothing wherein they are completely covered their body. Again, there is a limited exposure of the sunlight to the skin of our body. Okay. Gone are those days where on Sundays people used to go out in a public gardens or in the beaches for a play. Nowadays, especially in the metro city where I live, on Sunday the activity is visiting to the mall, again an indoor environment. Initially, people used to go out for shopping, at least in the market, to buy grocery. Now, all the thanks to all the kind of a mobile application, we are so much stuck with that we order everything online. So you see, your exposure to the sunlight is a bare minimum, which is one of the major cause of the vitamin D deficiency. Okay. The second cause is the pollution. Yes, the kind of the pollution which our cities have, the smoke which is have, that limits the ultraviolet rays. It prevents the UV rays from the sunlight to reach to our skin surface. And even if you tend to go out, those pollution will not let your body to produce sufficient vitamin D. Other thing is our skin pigmentation. Yes, we Indians have a darker skin, and that's because of our melanin pigment which is found in our skin. This melanin pigment can reduce the vitamin D production by changing the UV light exposure to the skin. And that's why excess of the melanin can cause a limitation of the vitamin D production within our body. All right. Other reason is our food. Yes, the vitamin D is unfortunately not found in a very large quantity in the food items unless it is fortified. High vitamin D rich food are like a fatty fish, which we Indians don't consume much. We are more carbohydrate centric country, and that's why we eat more of a rice and a wheat based products which naturally have a low vitamin D. Okay. Even if we consume a dairy products which are again a relatively higher vitamin D content kind of food, in there our choice of the milk is also toned milk or a fat-free milk. Okay, so this kind of a milk also reduces the vitamin D content. Okay, we are not used to eating fortified food which are fortified with this vitamin D, and that also limits to our exposure. A mushroom, a very important vegetarian source, but again lot of people think it looks like non-veg and a lot of people don't eat. That's also high vitamin D containing food, but again the consumption of that kind of food is very less. Most of the time our food is centered to rice, wheat, lentil and pulses. All of that are comparatively deficient in vitamin D. Not only that, the fiber-rich food what we consume contains a lot of phytates, and that limits the vitamin D production, and it increases the calcium level requirement also in the body, and thus causes a vitamin D imbalance. So you see, there are many factors which plays an important role. Another factor is our lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle. Yes, we are not moving. And that's the reason why the sedentary lifestyle causes obesity. And more the obesity, more will be the requirement of the vitamin D. Please understand, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. That's why obese people and overweight people will always have a vitamin D deficiency, and their need of the vitamin D is much higher than the other healthy individuals. Okay. Other factor is the aging. As we age, our body has a less 7-dehydrocholesterol. That is the raw material for the vitamin D production. So that's why even old people will have a low vitamin D. Another reason is a genetic component. Yes, gene plays very important role in a vitamin D metabolism as well as the action. Lot of Indians have some variation in this gene, and which causes not sufficient level of the vitamin D production and utilization, further enhances the vitamin D deficiencies. Okay. Next factor is the pregnancy and lactation. In case of a woman, when they are planning a pregnancy, you need to have a sufficient vitamin D level. But unfortunately in our country, lot of women in this age group of a reproductive, they don't have sufficient vitamin D. And when they go for such an unplanned pregnancy, an unprepared pregnancy, their body becomes more depleted of the vitamin D. Because during the pregnancy, it's the unborn child who will have a bone development, the calcium homeostasis changes, and all of that increases the vitamin D requirement. And if you are already depleted, you are more in a trouble. Not only that, after the pregnancy, when a woman is breastfeeding, the nutritional need further increases. If at such time this nutritional requirement is not met, it can have a long-term consequences also. So these are the factors which we need to pay attention. And of course, socio-economic factors, lack of awareness. People don't think that vitamin D is an important vitamin. Okay, they don't understand that the vitamin D is important in many different factors. So lack of awareness is another factor. Non-availability non-availability of the infrastructure, healthcare availability, medications availability, and all of that can further increase the vitamin D deficiency. And as we are deficient in vitamin D, we are exposing ourselves to n number of health conditions which are linked with the low vitamin D. So it's very important for us to get aware of that and take a action. Make sure that you are exposing yourself to the sunlight regularly. Okay, it's not a one day job. You have to do it every day. So when you have a regular such sunlight exposure, you are protecting yourself from many health conditions. If you think that you cannot do that, then at least some amount of the supplementation of the vitamin D, or eating the fortified food, or eating a food which are rich with vitamin D will definitely help. When we are talking about the sunlight exposure, how to do that perfectly so that your body can maximum utilize that sunlight, I have made another video and you can watch that video for more information. Alright, thank you for joining me till now, and I hope this video gave you some good insightful about the prevalence of low vitamin D in our country and take a right action. Alright, if you have any question, please leave your questions in the comment box below. I try to read and answer them as early as I can. And if you have any concern, of course you can leave that, and I hope that this video gave you good information. We will meet again. Till then, you take care of yourself. Namaste.